Hi there and welcome to Transcona Trailer Sales. Today we'll be walking you through your 2023 Chaparral 360Ibl. We are just going to start off at the back of the unit here. If you notice up top, you are pre-wired for an observation camera. If you'd like to get set up with that, you can contact our parts department. We can get you a quote put together for that. Starting off in the left corner bumper here, if you just squeeze and pull like the cap says, you will be able to get access to your sewer hose. Once fully extended, it is about 20 feet long. Just taking note of those two ears there. Those are going to be the same two ears that hook up to your sewer outlet. I'll show you in a minute. You notice up top here, you do just have, for your range hood, the little flap. It would be good to get a step stool because I can't even reach it myself. Just release that flap, that way it allows the fumes to exit the unit. And once you're traveling, you can snap it back into place. That way you're not getting any excess dust inside the unit. Located right here, you're just gonna loosen this guy off. This is a 50 amp quick connect plug. Just take a note of that strip there. It lines up with this strip on this side. You're just gonna push that in, give it another 8th turn. It locks into place and you got that thread collar to really lock it down. If you follow that cord back, you do have your standard 50 amp plug-in. Now a lot of campsites don't have this. So we do include this 30 amp dog bone adapter. Just keep in mind we're going down to 30 amps of power. You can't run both air conditioners at once. You're really only supposed to run one. And we do also include a 15 amp park adapter to go down from 30, but whenever you're using that 15 amp, just keep it in mind really it's only to run the fridge and the lights, that's it. No air conditioner or anything like that. Located here, you're gonna see a drain outlet sticker right down below there. That is just gonna be your fresh tank drain right here. You just loosen that cap off. Just get the cap off. It's gonna drain all the tank water that's inside the tank. Right here, you do have your sewer outlet. Just take it, pressing and releasing that cap. Just take a note of that ear there. It's gonna line up. It's the same ear that was on your sewer hose. Just lines up with those notches, locks into place. Come over here, you do have your hot water heater. Just taking those tabs, spinning them around whenever you first get to your campsite. Just taking this, giving it a pull. There should be a shot of water coming out of there, letting you know that the tank's full. We currently have the tank drained, ready for customer pickup. That's why it wouldn't be safe to fire up right now. 1.1/8" drain bolt right at the bottom there. Also located underneath this fender skirt are 2 more caps. That's just low point drains to drain all the water that's inside the lines inside the unit. Opening up this compartment here does give you access to your little control center. You got an exterior shower. You do have a black tank flush. You do have to have your black tank open, which is going to be liquid waste for you to use it. Otherwise, you do run the risk of bursting your tank. It's just to keep things that little bit cleaner. You got city water hookup, so if you're at a site with service, throw a garden hose in there, turn it on. It's going to pressurize all the lines without the needing to run your water pump. Right here, you got the winterization fresh tank override system. So you got this with these valves the way they are now. You're at system use to fill your tanks. You'd have to turn this one that way, that one this way. And then for city water hookup / winterization, you do just have to turn all the valves down or up like that. And that would be bypassed, but just like so would be system use. You got your coax cables right here. 110 outlet. You do have a plug in case you were in here at night, or a light in case you're in here at night. You got your body waste and your liquid waste. Liquid waste is going to be your black tank, so you're going to want to empty that first. It's going to be your dirtiest water, and then you can follow behind that with the body waste, which is typically cleaner water coming from your sinks and your showers. On the wall here, you're going to got your battery disconnect. With that on the way it is now, the batteries are connected to the unit. If you were to twist that to off, the batteries become disconnected from the unit. This little switch here does turn on some accent lighting at the front of the unit, makes it look real nice at night. You got your auto leveling system, pushing that power button turns it on. You do have to have your batteries connected for that to work. Hitting that auto level button would automatically level the unit, and hitting that retract button would automatically retract all the jacks. You can individually control them by pressing these buttons, and then you can also go into auto hitch mode as well as auto retract all. There's a bunch of different options you can go through here, as well as a manual level option. That's going to be it for that there. You got your 25-foot water hose, as well as that 15 amp park adapter I told you about. inside this compartment here, you're gonna have one 30-pound propane tank. Just turning it counterclockwise to open it up all the way. Opens up the flow of propane to this unit. Located in the front here, you do got a little docking station light. Just get these two guys open here. We'll open up this front compartment. And inside here, really the only thing you're gonna have to worry about is just this battery box here. Inside that battery box, that's where your battery is housed. And then the rest of the space is just storage, just being mindful of all the wires everywhere. Coming around this side here, you do get your second 30-pound propane tank. Again, just counterclockwise to open that up, turn that on all the way. And then in this compartment is just the other side. Opening this up on the wall, you're gonna notice this bar. This is gonna be for your slide out override. You got your cable, another cable satellite hook up over here in case you're to put a TV inside. Get inside the unit. You're just taking that assist handle, pushing it up 90 degrees, it'll lock in place. Grab that door handle, it'll allow you to open up that door. You can take this, fold your stairs down. You're gonna see these knobs here. That's just to adjust the height of your feet so that you can adjust it to your campsite needs. So you got nice elevated feet. Taking a step on inside, first thing you notice off to your left is just gonna be that fire extinguisher, just like home. Pull the pin and shoot. And taking a step up here, you got your inverter power management switch. Really, this doesn't do much. It's just telling you that you're on circuit A, and pressing that button does turn it off and turn it to circuit B. Down here, you got your tank heaters. That's just essentially a little pad taped or adhesed onto the bottom of the holding tanks. It's just for that extended camping season. Unfortunately, our Manitoba winters get much too cold for it to be adequate for things not to freeze up. So you can go into the extended camping season at your own risk, but I wouldn't go any colder than -3 really. Then you got your slide out buttons. Hitting that button out allows those slide outs to start making their way out. You're gonna have those slide outs are fully extended when you hear the whines and the clicking of the motor. And whenever you do go to run those slide outs, just being careful that you know on what's on either side of the slide. That way you're not damaging anything. So there you go. You're gonna hear that clicking, and that's when you know to let off. Next, to do the front bedroom slide. And then second slide in the living space. Again, all these slides work the same way. And then last but not least, the bunk slide. Another thing I'll mention, you got your water heater switches, so you can either fire that up on gas or propane. If you fire it up on gas, the water heater is going to try lighting itself 3 times. If on the third try it doesn't light, this DSI fault light's going to come on. At that point, you do just have to turn that off, let it sit for about 10 seconds, and then turn it back on. And then you got your water pump switch, turning that on draws from your fresh tank. You got your exterior light switch, which turns on some exterior lights, as well as an awning LED switch. Hitting that awning button, extend. That awning's going to make its way out. Once fully extended, you're going to see the back of the metal tube and the little flap hang down. Whenever you are running that awning, just be mindful whenever you get to the platform there, winds will want to make sure you bring that in. That way you don't run the risk of ripping the fabric and bending your arm. There you go, you get that little flap hanging down in that back of that metal tube. Now if it were to start raining, you can take any arm, front or rear, push down. It's going to change the pitch of the awning head, allowing water to then run off. Now if you like that angle better, you can do the same thing with the front arm. Just always making sure that you push these arms back to straight before you bring it in. That way you don't run the risk of bending anything. Bringing them in is just as simple as pushing or retract, making sure it rolls the right way in, and you're not trapping any moisture inside there, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So if it is raining and winds pick up and you have to bring it in, that's fine. Just make sure you do put it out as soon as you can once it's sunny again to allow it to dry off. And once those arms contact the side of the trailer, the motors are going to cut out and you can let off the switch. So first door right in front of you, if you just open this up, you just go into a bunk room. Light switch on the right. You do have a ladder so you can get up to that top bunk nice and easy. Storage all around. Located on the ground here, you just got your main circuit breaker panel, opening that up. Whenever a breaker trips, it's going to sit in the middle, so you just have to turn it off and then back on again to reset it. Whenever you have a fuse pop, there'll be a little red indicator light telling you which one's gone. Inside the main living space, lots of light switches on the walls. That goes for all around the unit. And then all these lights are on their own center push buttons, so you can turn them on and off as you need. Individually, you got your Furrion thermostat. Push that power button once. You're going to go into cool, or the last setting you had it on, and that's just for zone 1. So that's going to be this rear AC. Hitting that zone button would bring you to your back AC. Zone 2 is going to be the back AC, and zone 1 is going to be this front AC. You can hit your mode button to go from cool, heat, fan, dry, and auto, as well as just back to cool. Up and down changes your desired set temperature. You can change your fan speed just by pressing that button. You can sleep it. You can change the light setting. You can also put some different programs in here. Power, but again, just to turn that off. You got your kitchen area with hot and cold water here. Storage all around. Coming over here, you got your Everchill fridge. This is a 12-volt fridge, so it will switch over to 12-volt. Once you are hooked up to your tow vehicle, you got that power button, just pressing and holding it. We'll turn it on. Pressing and holding it for 10 seconds would turn it on, and pressing and holding it again for another 10 seconds would turn it back off. You got your microwave up top, just like home. Not much I'm going to show you there. It does have a built-in light. Light switch over here. So on the left here, you do have this nice little garbage bin. Then you get your stove and your oven, which do run off propane. Just turning it over to that high, hitting the sparker. Sometimes it can take a few minutes just to clear all the air out of the propane line, so just be patient, especially if you've left the propane off for a while. But it does fire up eventually, so don't panic if it doesn't start right away. The glass top, just being careful when you do set it down, that way you don't smash it. Pushing this button does turn on the oven light, as well as some illuminations around the knobs. You can turn that over to the pilot option while pushing in. Pushing in for, it could be 1 to 2 minutes. Once all the air is clear, you can hit the sparker. It'll light that pilot, just holding it in for another second, and then you can turn it up to your desired temperature, and it fires right on up. You've got your entertainment center here. Sound bar, pretty much just like home, minus the fact of having your 2 zones. Zone 1 is the sound bar itself, and zone 2 would be your exterior speakers outside the unit. Then you come to your fireplace, power button on the right. Right beside it, you got your different flame colors. Button in the middle does your rock light colors. You got high and low and high for heat, and then you do have a timer which goes anywhere from 30 minutes to 9 hours. Like I said, lots of light switches around the unit for some extra light if you need it. This does turn into a bed. You just having to remove those back cushions. Pull on out, and it folds out. You can take your feet, spread them down, and then just folding everything back in is the same manner. You got your 2 recliner couches, which also have massagers and heated option on both sides. You come to your little seating area. All the blinds in here do work the same way. They're just going to kind of sit where you leave them, and then just giving them one pull will allow them to retract back up. Coming back into the kind of top space here, you got the bathroom. You got hot and cold water as well as your toilet, and other than that, you do have your main GFI plug on the wall. You got test on the left, reset in the middle. If that orange light's on, usually the system's tripped. If you ever have an outlet that doesn't work, this would be the first place I'd look. Overhead, you do have this fan. You just gotta turn this clockwise, opens it on up, but just keeping note that it is open up into the atmosphere. So if it were to start raining, it is gonna get wet in here if this is open, so you gotta make sure you close it. Of course, unless you went with a max air cover, you can contact a parts department about getting set up with one of those, and it would allow you to run this whether it's raining or whether you're traveling. Great investment. If you'd like to get set up with it, like I said, you can contact our parts guys and they'll get you a quote for that. In the bedroom area, the light switch is on the wall. You got your emergency exit. The way that works is you're just gonna take this tab, pull it. The screen's gonna pop right out and take the handle. You can jump out and pop out of the unit. You do have a TV backer right here in case you were to want to mount a TV, as well as 2 plugins, as well as cable satellite hookup, or you can just place it there. Inside here, you just got to undo this travel strap, which is very important. You do it before you leave, that way it doesn't smash. If you open this up, you are pre-plumbed and pre-wired for a washer-dryer combo. If you'd like to get set up with that, again, you can contact our parts department, and they can put together a quote for you to get set up with that. Other than that, lots of closet space. You do as well have some storage space underneath the front bed. You're just having to grab the foot of the bed, pick it on up. You can store blankets or whatever you'd like under there. Whenever you're running your air conditioner, this does go for front or rear. You have the option to run this louver open, in which case it's going to dump all its air into the whatever space it's in, or you can close it and it'll move all its air through the ducting you see we have around the unit. Last but not least, then we'll show you inside the kitchen area. Right down here, you got your LP detector. This propane's heavier than air. If this guy starts going off, you are just going to want to turn off the main supply of propane at the front of the unit and maybe turn on some fans, and that way you can ventilate it out. That's going to be it for this unit here. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call.